Okay, so this is basically cell is you can compare it as like a wall is made up of bricks. The same way animal cells and plant cells, as you can see, all living organisms are made up of cells, which are the fundamental unit of life. They are also called building block of life, and they are smallest unit of life. Okay, why cells are important? Because they make like cells make our body organized by acting as the fundamental building block, um, because cells are the smallest living things and units, and there is cell membrane in each cell. Some cell membrane is the outermost covering of cell, which separate it from another cells and from its surrounding environment. So similar cells group together and they perform a collective function, and then which is called tissue. When lots of tissue combine, they make organ. Each organ has its specific function, right? Can you give me some name of organs in human body? Exactly. Yeah, so each of them have their own function, right? So they all are made up of cells and group of cells, and then they make organ, then organ system. Can you name some of organ system? Yes. Yeah. Yes. So the yes. Yes, good. So organs work together in a system and they make system level organ system which maintain the life, and all system integrate to form the complete human body or any organism body. So basically, how cells keep us organized, why they are so important? Because cell membrane is separating the internal cell body from the external, threads and maintaining order. And cell differentiate into like types, like there are different types of cells. Each organ is made up of specific cells, like nerve cells are different from stomach cells. Heart cell are different from kidney cell. They have different shape, different size based on their function. They are, they have their shapes. And so each cell contributes to balance, and they each cell they help in regulating temperature, they and pH and nutrients levels. So cells divide and they that's how they grow. Okay, each cell divide and that's how they grow. Okay, and also like you can think of like when if we have a bag, it have lots of small pocket and large pockets. Why? Because this way we can organize things in a good way, right? We can keep our notebooks in a separate component compartment, and in the small pocket we can keep our small like money and all, right? So the same way our almiras have different compartments which make our things to organize in a better way, right? The same way our body is made up of cells which make our body functions more efficient and which organize everything. So when this is why cells are important, and that's why they are called, yeah, things are more organized. So the basic, the main three parts of cell are cell membrane, nucleus, cytoplasm. Cell have more things, but these are the main things: cell membrane, nucleus, and cytoplasm. So this is the cell membrane, the outermost covering. This dark blue line you can see. This is the nucleus in the middle, this circular thing, and this fluid-like structure part, this which is by sky blue, this part which is shown in sky blue is called cytoplasm. So cytoplasm is the jelly-like fluid in which all the cells components and cell organelles are there. This nucleus. So nucleus is also very important, which control everything, uh, like which control the genetic information. It has DNA. DNA is the genetic information. which pass like our physical appearance. For example, the eye color of the child be same as similar to their grandparents. Why? Because of this genetic material. Okay. So genetic material is present within the nucleus. So cells are microscopic, obviously, because they are the smallest functional unit of our body. So we cannot see them without microscope, right? Here you can see this is animal cell and this is plant cells. So what is the main difference between them is cell wall has this plant cell has cell wall, which give it extra protection because plant have to stand in extreme conditions. So plant cells need extra protections. Animals can live and they can move. So right. So plant cells and animal cells, they both have this outermost covering which is called cell membrane. Outside cell membrane, there is one more extra outer covering in case of plant, which is called cell wall. What it is called? Yes, which give it extra protection. And plant cell also have chloroplast, which is this green colored pigment. And they have vacuoles, more vacuoles, which help them to store food. Now cells vary in size and in shape. Like the smallest cell is mycoplasma, which is zero point 0.1 micrometer, which is 1000 times smaller than millimeters. So you can imagine. Largest cell is the ostrich egg cell, which is 18 centimeter. Okay. In human body cells, like if you, this is human egg cell. Yes. Yeah, it is 18 centimeter. You can imagine 1 centimeter is this much. So 18 cent. This is around, my pen is around 10 centimeter or 15 centimeter. This is 15. So we can see 18 centimeter. Uh, okay, because I said cells cannot be seen without microscope. This is the largest cell. This is ostrich cell is just made up of one cell. This is what I mean. It is not made up of multiple cells. So yeah, ostrich. Yes, literally one cell. Um, it is a part of one cell. Cells, it's single cell. Still, you will be having half cell. Mm. So each cell, like in human body, as I said, every organ, their cell shape and size are different, and we use microscope to see these objects which are too small, which cannot be seen by naked eye, like light microscope and electron microscope. So light microscope can magnify objects up to 1000 and 2000 times. So whatever, and electron is even better. We can we can magnify objects using this 100,000 times. So it gives us more detailed examination of cells, cell organelles, and okay. So this is the picture taken by light microscope and this is taken by electron microscope. So you can see the difference. This one is colorful. Now, yes, um, light microscope and electron. I can just check it. $10. So light microscope is between 70 to $500. It depends on, yeah, this is for student. And electron microscope. It is 50,000 to $100,000. There are lots of different types of electron, but yeah, this is the general price. This is the starting price, okay? It can be more than this also, because there are, different companies and they have different price, right? So next is who discovered cell. So Robert Hooke, a British scientist, discovered cell in 1665. And what he observed when observing thin slices of bottle cork under his self-designed microscope, and this is the picture of his self-designed microscope, which is called Hooke microscope. Okay, he in 1600s he made it. And basically when he was looking at the slice of cork, what he observed is a like a honeycomb like structure. This is okay, this is the honeycomb like structure, and with the small empty pores. So these structure reminded him of the resting rooms of monks. At that time, these rooms were called cellas, and that's why he named these structure as cells. And this is how the structure was, like a honeycomb. So these about these cells, he published all his findings in a book, and book name was Micrographia. Okay. Yeah. So can you try this question? Who coined the term cell? Yeah. Are you there? I can't hear. Oh, okay. Hmm. Who coined the term cell? Yes, that's correct. Now, so he coined this term in 1665, and then in 1674, the father of microbiology, a Dutch microbiologist, observed microorganism for the first time under the microscope, because Robert Hooke, he discovered a non-living cell. Okay, but the first scientist who discovered human cell and bacteria cell for the first time, it was discovered in 1674 by Antony Van. And this is, you can see, this is plant cell and this is animal cell. What you need to just remember here is chloroplast and cell wall. These are the two extra things that plant cell have. Other things are same: nucleus, mitochondria, ribosome. All of them are, they both of them have. So now, as the time passed, with advancement in research and more powerful microscope were developed during 18th century. So after the invention of electron microscope, what is inside cell, that was observed, and these small parts of the cell which are present inside the cell, they were called cell organelles. What are they called? Good. So before, first non-living cell was discovered, then living cells like bacteria, human cells, and then what is present inside the cell, as more powerful microscopes were developed with time. As you can see, this is a cell. It has vacuoles, it has nucleus, it has chloroplast. This is a plant cell, so that's why it has chloroplast. It has a cell wall. Again, plant cell only have a cell wall. They have, this is called endoplasmic reticulum. This is called mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the cell, which we'll talk about. Then we have lysosome. So these things which are present inside the cells, they are called cell organelles. So now, in 1831, Robert Brown, he discovered nucleus in plant cell. Nucleus is this which contain genetic material like DNA. Then in 1833, he published his discovery. In 1839, Purkinje coined the term protoplasm, which is the fluid inside the cell. This fluid, this part is called protoplasm. These are again cell organelles. We can see nucleus, there is mitochondria, this is endoplasmic, this is actually Golgi apparatus. And then we have endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, and all. So now after, as the discovery was done, then after in 1838 and 39, during this time period, two German scientists, they proposed the cell theory. And um, they the cell theory states these three important principles. So all living organisms are made up of one or more cells. This was the first point. The second point was a cell is the basic structural and functional unit of any living organism. And the third point is a cell arises from pre-existing cell. And that's how cells grow. Okay. So these three scientists, they gave this cell theory. They said that all plants and animals are made up of cells. All cells came from pre-existing cells. So this is the timeline of cell discovery. So in 1665, Robert Hooke, he discovered a cell in a cork slice, and he named this, he derived this cell word from a Latin word which means cella, which means a little room. Then in 1831, Robert Brown, he discovered nucleus. In 1838 and 39, cell theory was given by these two scientists. Then Sackman, British geologist, he discovered plasma membrane. Then as the electron microscope was invented, they were able to see more complex structure of cell. Then then Antony Van discovered the first free living cells in pond water. Then Purkinje coined the word protoplasm. Then, cell theory was also further explained by Rudolph, which says that cells arise from a pre-existing cell. So this is how you can see the timeline of cell discovery from 1665 till 1855. Okay, and after that it also actually 1940. Okay, when cell, again here you can see Robert Hooke discovered non-living cell, and then the same thing